Okay, and we are live. Hi, everyone, and welcome to our webinar for the SCORA sessions for the upcoming August meeting 2019 in Taiwan. My name is Ihab Jmal from Tunisia, and I am the SCORA director for this term. And I am joined in this webinar by my two amazing Egyptian ladies. So, Rana?
Hi, everyone. I'm Rana Gouda. I'm from East Egypt, Nora. I'm so lucky to be one of the session team for August meeting, and I'm really excited to see all of you and work with all of you.
Thank you.
Hi, everyone. My name is Yara Shem. I'm the SCORA Development Assistant. I work in the IT, and I'm from Egypt as well.
Thank you, Yara. So with Yara and with Rana, we are going to have this webinar and go through the most important information that you need before getting to Taiwan. We will try to address not only the SCORA agenda and what we will do in our days, but also the overall idea of what the General Assembly is, what to expect in the in every day when you are in Taiwan, the fair, what to bring with you, etc., etc., etc. So the first thing we will discuss, and I think before we start, is that before getting there, you need to know what SCORA is. So SCORA is one of the standing committees that we have within IFMSA, the International Federation for Medical Students. SCORA, as of March meeting 2019, is the Standing Committee on Sexual and Reproductive Health and Rights, including HIV and AIDS. As you can get from the name, most of the work that we do is focused on SRHR. We work in 5 different focus areas. We work with 4 different programs and program coordinators and a huge team, which is the international team that Yara is going to briefly present for you.
Hello, everyone. Well, the SCORA IT is the SCORA International team. We have the director, who's Ihab Jamal. He's the one who's representing the webinar today. We have the liaison officer for our external representation. She's called Egla. And we have the general assistant, Laura, and the DA, which is me. And we have, for each region, we have a regional assistant. For Africa, we have Tadala. For Americas, we have Gian. Asia Pacific is Stephanie. And Dario for Europe, and Dana for the EMR. Thank you.
Thank you, Yara. So during this August meeting in Taiwan, unfortunately, not all the members of the international team will be there, but we will be joined by our General Assistant, Laura, our RA for Asia Pacific, Stephanie, our RA for Europe, Dario, our RA for Americas, Gian, and of course the LRA and myself. But we will not be given the SCORA sessions alone. We will actually be joined by an amazing number of extremely motivated SCORA members, which are the SCORA sessions team that Rana is going to present.
Okay, so we have like 6 people. It's Liva from Lithuania, Stephanie from Switzerland, Rumina from Canada, and Fatima from Guatemala, and then Razan from Sudan, and then there's me, Rana from Egypt.
Thank you, Rana. So as you can see, this sessions team composed of the members of the IT, myself, and these 6 amazing women joining us from every single part of IFMSA. We are very proud and very happy that this year, within our SCORA sessions, we will have members representing the 5 regions of IFMSA within the SCORA sessions team. So now we will move on to going really quickly through the agenda of this next GA, the general agenda. It has been shared with you in the SCORA survival kit that was sent on the SCORA server, and it was also shared in every other survival kit for all the other standing committees or the general one. So I will be sharing my screen with you so we can follow together. Here it is. So arrival day for the upcoming GA will be on August 1st, 2019. Within the arrival day, we will only have the plenary simulation and the first plenary. After that, we will all move together to the opening ceremony and the welcome party. Day 1 of the GA is the first day we actually have our SCORA sessions together. We will have 4 hours starting 9 a.m. We will go later on through the details of what we will have through these 4 hours. After that, we will have the theme event. the regional sessions, the TO NMO buddies, and the IFMSA Fringe. The IFMSA Fringe, if you are not familiar with it, it means you were not in the March meeting 2019. It is this new event we were trying to have in IFMSA this year to show that not only medical students, we are there together to advocate and to work and to learn and to get trained, but we are also there to showcase the many, many talents that we have. So you can think of it as some sort of IFMSA talent show, but it's a lot more than that, and it's extremely interesting, so do not miss it when you are there. On day 2, we will have the second day of our SCORA sessions, again for 4 hours, followed by the plenary and the training sessions in parallel. For day 3, the August 4th, again, we will have the SCORA morning sessions for 4 hours, and then we will have as parallels joint sessions that we will discuss which ones the SCORA has a little bit later on in this webinar. We have the President's session, and we have the Rex Crossley Awards, followed by the second set of time that is dedicated for the regional sessions. During these regional sessions, whether on day 1 or on day 3, please expect to also have some standing committee specific time. So it is an opportunity to get together with the different SCORA angels from your region and your SCORA regional assistant or a representative of the regional assistant and have a session together. We will discuss the details of this a little bit later on in this webinar. On day 4, we will start the day with the social program, then some parallel sessions, which are step up your external rep, the CB plenary, and the contracts fair. After that, we will have the EB debate for the members of the executive board that we did not elect during March meeting, and that will join the members that were elected already. And a longer than usual NMO hour. The reason why it is going to be longer than usual on day 4 is because at the plenary of day 4, we will be having the voting for not only the EB members of next year that were not elected, but also for the team of officials of 2019-2020. Followed by this NMO hour, we will have the IFMSA Global Priorities events, paralleled with President's session. Again, we will explain these Global Priorities events later on a little bit more on this webinar. And finally, the theme event and the plenary. The final day, day 5, is our 4th day of SCORA morning sessions. Again, we will be meeting the whole morning. In the afternoon, there will be the activities fair and the final plenary of the GA. So this is the IFMSA general agenda, and this is kind of like a big overview of what will happen in Taiwan. Now we can go a little bit more into details of these events. So the first thing that I wanted to make a stop on is the IFMSA Global Priorities events. So the IFMSA Global Priorities events, sorry, there it is. So the IFMSA Global Priorities events, if you have been in Slovenia, then you know what it is. The Global Priorities are the set of goals that IFMSA is working on. The one that is related to SCORA is sexual reproductive health and rights. In March meeting 2019, we had the UN plenary that was extremely successful, and the feedback was really, really impressive. So in this upcoming August meeting, we will also have a plenary, but the topic of it will be different from the one we had in Slovenia. There will be a call open for members who are interested in taking part of this global priority session. Please make sure to sign up for it, because as you saw, or as you've heard maybe in the March meeting, the global priorities events were one of the things that were the most popular through the day. And the people who did not sign up ended up not taking part of the event. So when you see the link, please make sure that you sign up for it, and we cannot wait to have you with us during that. For a final comment about this global priority events, it will not only be the SRHR1, but there will also be other events that touch upon other global priorities that IFMSA is working on. So if you find the SRHR full, or if you are interested in discovering a non-SCORA topic, this is also an amazing opportunity to do so. So just keep that in the back of your head. With that said, we will now go on to discuss the joint sessions, and we will have Rana talk about them.
Okay, so regarding the joint session, we have two, one with a scope and then one with a scope. The session, the SCORA Scopes joint, is about universal health coverage and SRHR, and the other one would be SRHR and refugees. But in order to attend these sessions, you will have to register through a link that will be sent by IHAM.
Okay, thank you, Rana. So for these joint sessions, just like Rana just said, do not forget again to register through a link. So now you have two links to think of: the one that will be sent for the global priorities and the one that will be sent for joint sessions, and more to come. So just stay focused. The next thing that I wanted to kind of stop on really quickly is the regional sessions. So as I said, and as you can see, the regional sessions will take place on day 1 and day 3. It depends on which region you are from. You will have the SCORA regional session as well. So some regions will have the SCORA regional session on August 2nd, and some regions will have them on August 4th. As I already said, if you are from Europe, Asia Pacific, or the Americas, yes. So if you're from Europe, Asia Pacific, and the Americas, your regional assistant will be there, and they will be the person who are delivering your session. If you are from Africa or the EMR, unfortunately, our amazing RAs for Africa and the EMR could not be with us. However, there will be either members of the sessions team or extremely motivated members from the region itself delivering the regional sessions for you. These regional sessions are created by your RAs in order to address the specific needs and the specific challenges of your region when it comes to SRHR. So please make sure that you take part of these regional sessions and think of them as an integral part of what SCORA is offering for this upcoming GA. Next up, we will discuss one final other segment from the general agenda that I wanted to stop on before moving to the SCORA sessions, which is on day 4, step up your XREP. So usually in the previous GAs, we have a policy discussion session in which people get together to discuss the different policies that will be voted on the GA. This time around, the VPE and the team of liaison officers thought of something different, thought of offering you a new experience within our GAs. So instead of the policy discussion session, we will have this session called Step Up Your XREP. I highly encourage you to be there, and I highly encourage you to address any questions you have about this session to our liaison officer for SRHR, including HIV and AIDS, Egle, and she will be more than happy to assist you and answer all of your questions regarding this session. With that said, now we move on from our general agenda more into our SCORA sessions agenda. So if you were in March meeting, you probably have noticed that this time around we have tried to address a new thing within our SCORA sessions, which is for every single day we decided to have a theme. The reason why we decided to have these theme days is, for one, we wanted to have the opportunity to get a little bit deeper into the topics that we address. And two, we wanted to have this linear thought so that for 4 hours, if we are discussing the same topic, maybe it allows us to have more constructed ideas and more fruitful conversations. Since the feedback from March meeting was extremely good on these theme days, we decided to keep them again for the August meeting, but to not be redundant, we decided to try and touch upon topics that we might not had the chance to discuss thoroughly or to touch upon within March meeting. So the themes that we will address during this upcoming August meeting are: for day 1, SCORA is setting the pace. So as you can get it, it will be something more of a general SCORA sessions to just make sure that everyone is comfortable and everyone knows what are we going to go throughout this GA. For day 2, it is SCORA is busting gender stereotypes, because this is the conversation that we believe we should always have. And since we have this platform, this amazing platform, which is a GA, with people from all around the world attending, so it would be a waste not to take that opportunity to discuss gender stereotypes and to try to sit together and bust these gender stereotypes. For day 3, it will be more into everything that is related to making your own decisions, and it is called SCORA is you deciding. And finally, for day 5, since we do not have SCORA sessions on day 4, it will be maternal health and access to safe abortion. Rana and Yara will go through the details of the sessions that we are offering. But before that, one more comment about what we will see in this SCORA agenda this time around. Something that we really took a lot of care to make sure happens in the March meeting, and we want to happen again in this August meeting, is that we wanted to listen from you. We wanted to make sure that the sessions really touch upon what you are interested in having, and this is something that kind of whether it is myself or whether it is the international team, we tried to have this whole year set into that tone. So now, before having Rana and Yara present the agenda to you, I wish that you will get the feeling that we have listened to all your suggestions, and I wish you get the feeling that we will be discussing everything that you wanted to be discussed in this August meeting. With that said, I leave the floor to Yara to go through day 1. And again, for you to follow correctly, I will be sharing my screen with you again. So Yara, you have the floor.
Hi, everyone. Well, on day 1, we have the welcome session, the SCORA 101, the SCORA 202, how to tackle HIV and STIs on local and national level, and we have the IFMSA global efforts to end HIV. For the welcome session, we'll introduce each other, we'll get to know each other. For the SCORA 101, it's for the ones it's first GA, they want to know more about SCORA, they don't have enough information, it's perfect for them. For the SCORA 202, we'll be talking about how to work on national and international level when dealing with representatives, external representation. What's the importance of policy statements that we have in IFMSA? For how to tackle HIV and STIs, we're going to talk about the different perspectives we have in our NMOs and how to tackle HIV and talk to people about STIs when campaigning, whether you're a LORA or you're a NORA. And for IFMSA global efforts to end HIV, we'll be talking about the strategy of the 1990 of the UNAIDS, the latest updates, what have the global efforts reached, and what IFMSA do to end HIV. For day 2, we have the consent, the power of consent. It's a really, really good session. It talks about how to talk about consent and why consent is important and how to break the ice with people when talking about consent. For feminism, we have a feminist. It talks about the history of feminism, how it started, where it's going, how you want to see the future. And for the living library, it's a session where everyone will say their story about the gender stereotypes and the gender norms.
Okay, so on day 3, there is SCORA is you deciding. At the beginning of the day, we will have 2 parallel sessions, one about SCORA regulation plenary, and the other one would be sexual well-being and sexual pleasure. Unfortunately, you have to choose between both of them. In the SCORA regulation plenary, we're going to vote on the amendment that was sent on the server from your NMO. And in the sexual well-being and sexual pleasure, we're going to talk about how we can advocate for sexual pleasure and how it affects other aspects in our life. And then we're going to have the SCORA fair. It's a great opportunity for you to just show your work in your NMO on any SCORA focus area. And it's a really great chance that you're going to see what other people are going to present. And then we have a SCORA candidature debate for SCORA director. At the end of the day, we're going to have a joint session, like I talked before. One was SCORP and one was SCOF. And then on the first day, unfortunately, we don't have a session regarding SCORA, but on the 5th day, we're going to have sessions regarding maternal health and access to safe abortion. First, we're going to talk about access to contraceptives, especially to adolescents, and then we're going to talk about menstrual hygiene. In this session, we're going to talk about all the misconceptions that we have and which countries have how can we advocate in countries that have very little knowledge about menstrual hygiene. And then we're going to talk about abortion left and right, and then everything about it, and your personal opinion about it. And then finally, we're going to have our closing session.
Okay, thank you, Rana. Actually, I think we have a question on the YouTube channel. So the question, Yara, right? We have a question, right? No? Actually, yes.
Someone asked how to participate in the living library. A call will be opened and people can share their stories from the SCORA participants, and some of the sessions team will be sharing the stories as well.
Thank you, Yara. So this is then the third link that we mentioned in this webinar, which is basically there will be another link shared with you if you want to take part of this living library session. With that said, I just wanted to add one more comment about the agenda for the SCORA sessions. One other thing that we really tried to do this year is to make sure that we are offering sessions that really speak to the level of experience of the different participants. As you know, or as you can imagine, when we have people from all around the world in one room, some of them might have more experience with SRHR topics. Some of them, even from the same NMO, can be national officers and a general delegate. Some of them might have been working for years. Some of them, this is literally the first time they're introduced to SCORA. So we believe that sometimes it is extremely challenging to make sure that the sessions not only speak to those who are experienced, but also speak to those who are not as experienced. So one way to tackle that is that we try to include these parallel sessions that are based on experience level, especially for the introduction session and for tackling one of the topics that we address the most within SCORA, which is HIV and AIDS. Another comment I had about the general agenda, that if you can notice, we also included the global priorities and the joint sessions in the overall agenda of SCORA, because these are sessions that will be prepared and the contribution of the sessions team members, and this kind of also is part of the experience that we are offering if you are coming to attend the SCORA sessions in this upcoming August meeting. One final comment for the SCORA candidate debate. It will happen on day 3, because on day 2 we will have within the plenary the preparation of the candidature, the presentations. I apologize. The presentation of the candidatures of the SCORA directors and the LRA. We have received 2 candidatures for SCORA director, which are the current General Assistant Laura and the current Assistant for Asia Pacific Stephanie. And for LRA, we have received 1 candidature, which is the current LRA Agne. So make sure that you attend their presentations on day 2. Make sure you show them all the support of the world. And if you have any questions, whether you or members of your NMOs, you can bring them within the SCORA candidates debate, because we are trying to offer this space for you to ask the questions that you want to ask to all of the candidates. With that said, I personally wish good luck for all of the candidates, and I cannot wait to see their presentations myself. Moving on, now I wanted to discuss a little bit the SCORA regulations plenary for many reasons, and because I have received a lot of questions about them as well. This year, we have received an outstanding number of amendments when it comes to our SCORA regulations and when it comes to our SCORA exchange regulations that are now annexed to our general SCORA regulations. So from the NMOs and from the IT, we have received 62 amendments. 62 amendments is a high number. I'm trying not to freak out about it, but it's going to be interesting to make our best to try and manage vote on all of these 62 amendments as efficiently as possible. So after discussing with members of the IT, we thought that we will also be having some unofficial spaces to discuss about these amendments and to see which amendments that would require further discussions the day of the voting itself. As you probably know, we have shared all of these amendments with you. It has been sent on the SCORA server. You have the time to go through them. You have the time to ask questions. You have the time to write the general assistant, Laura, or myself, if you have any questions. Just please do your best to go through them before we get to Taiwan. And please make sure that you ask any questions that you have before we get to Taiwan, so that we try and do this voting as efficiently as possible. So the voting procedure, every NMO has one vote, even if you have more than one NORA. So if you are a NORA or a NORA elect, you just need to present yourself as one, and you will automatically get the voting right for your NMO. If you are not attending this August meeting and you are a NORA, but one member of your delegation will be there, please make sure that you have a signed and stamped paper to this member of your delegation that is sent to the general assistant's email account, so that we allow them to vote in the name of your NMO. If you did not do that, do not freak out at the last minute. However, before the start of the SCORA regulations plenary themselves, make sure that a member will have this signed or stamped paper on them or emailed to the GA. It needs to be signed and stamped either by the national officer for SCORA, so the NORA, or by the NMO president. Otherwise, you will not get the right to vote, and it would be a shame for your NMO not to have their voice heard and not to have their voice represented within the voting procedures. With that said, we will be sending, the general assistant will be sending an email with all this information as a follow-up to the email that was sent with the amendments, just to make sure everyone knows what they need to do and everyone reads through the amendments before we get to Taiwan. So that's what I had to say about the SCORA regulations plenary. I am very excited that we are going to be voting all of these amendments. I am scared, but I am excited because like we haven't done this in a while. That is one, and two, there is a lot of things that we are trying to improve within our standing committee. We already put all of our focus into improving our SCORA exchange regulations in March meeting. So this time around, we wanted to put all of our focus in the SCORA regulations. And I would like to thank every single person who sent us any of these amendments, because it proves that they also care about making our regulations better. And I would also like to thank an extremely motivated group of members from the international team who literally went through the amendments like line by line to make sure to develop them. So I want to thank Laura, Stephanie, Dario, and Egle. Thank you for all the hard work that you also put on the regulations. With that said, I'm done talking about the regulations, and we will move on to Yara to discuss the SCORA fair. Yara, you have the floor.
Hi everyone. The SCORA fair, because we come from different NMOs from all over the world, the SCORA fair is a chance for us to show the work we do in our NMO, what you want to share with other countries. We come from different cultures and we do such a great work in our NMOs. The SCORA fair is our chance to share it with each other, exchange ideas, whether it's in a poster, a presentation, whatever you like, a campaign you did that you want to share with everyone and let everyone know about. This is the chance for you. You have a form, the link of a form that will be sent to you for you to register for it, and you can like apply for it.
Thank you, Yara. And it's to you to tell us what to bring to Taiwan.
Well, you can bring your red t-shirts, your mascots, condoms, of course, anything you need for the posters fair, a mug, plastic bottle, sorry, a bottle, not a plastic bottle. Try to go green, people.
The reusable bottle.
And anything you want to like decorate the SCORA room with.
Okay.
Be creative, people.
Yes. Thank you, Yara. And also the red t-shirts for the picture that we will be making at the last day, right? Right? Yes. Okay. So the final thing, now that we told you what is going to happen in Taiwan and we told you what to bring with you to Taiwan, the final thing is to tell you how to stay in touch and communicate with us before, during, and hopefully after Taiwan. So these different communication channels that we will be creating for this upcoming meeting are, one, the Facebook page. No? Do you want to do the communication channel? Should I do the communication channel?
You're doing the communication channel.
Okay. So we are created a Facebook page for the sessions team had already created them. We will be sending you the link to join this group. Another thing, you can always email me or email any member of the international team if you have any questions. You can email your regional assistants if you have questions about the regional sessions that will happen or any regionally specific questions. And finally, the amazing organizing committee of the AM19 in Taiwan have prepared a phone app. So the phone app will allow us to stay in touch and will allow us to share with you all the messages that we want to share with you, or anything that is related to how the SCORA sessions are going to go in Taiwan. So with that said, Yara, do you want to check if we have any other questions received on YouTube?
We don't have any questions.
Okay. So for those of you who are watching live, thank you so much for joining us. You can, if you didn't have the time to write the questions on the YouTube page, you can always write us later and we will be more than happy to answer you. For those of you who missed the live broadcast of this webinar, thank you for watching it after time. I hope it was helpful, and I hope we answered the questions that you had. I am very, very, very excited for this GA. It will be my 8th GA. I'm very old, and probably my final GA. So at least you know that I'm going to be giving it my absolute best. So you will be, I hope you will enjoy it. I hope you will have fun. I hope we will learn a lot. And see you in Taiwan very, very soon. Maybe my Nefertiti and Cleopatra have a final word.
We're very excited to see you all in Taiwan.
Thank you, Rana. Yara?
Guys, if you have any questions, just approach us at any time.
Thank you, Yara. So with that said, have a nice Monday evening, morning, depends on where you are in the world. We send you lots and lots of love, and we cannot wait to meet all of you in Taiwan. Thank you so much, and goodbye.